Have you ever done something that should have been good for you, and then your body immediately said, absolutely not? Today, we're talking about what happens when your season changes, but your habits don't. Let's get into it. Welcome to Star Potential, a podcast where we explore the meaning of our existence while having a few laughs and sometimes tears through stories from the road of life. I'm your host, Julie Jo Hughes. As a stage performer, my life is quite literally about song and dance. I believe that life here on Earth is a playground for discovery, not a contest to be won. We ask questions together like, how do I evolve my consciousness? And how do you sing a passionate ballad when there's an old guy in the front row with his balls showing? True story. Stick around for these fun conversations. Welcome to Star Potential. I'm your host, Julie Jo. Today, we're going to talk about being too hot for hot yoga. Maybe that wasn't exactly what it was, but what we are going to talk about today is listening to your body. One of the things I like to talk to you a lot about, because it's something that I walked through myself, is how sometimes we can get so out of touch with listening to the noise of the outside world that we forget to listen to our body. This can be something as simple as not going to the restroom when you need it. It sounds silly, but if you're denying your body's urges on little things like that, then you're probably suppressing lots of other signals that your body is giving to you as well. Our body gives us all kinds of information if we're only listening. And so it's not that your body stops talking to you or stops letting you know, it's just that we sometimes teach ourselves to tune it out. And our body is always sending us signals, letting us know, like a little tap on the shoulder. That might be literal or figurative, but it's always giving us clues. It's always letting us know what's going on inside because we can't see in there, right? But our body can. And your body is constantly sending you these little messages, these little signals to say, hey, here's something going on in here. You might want to take a look, or you might want to think about that because it's causing a secondary problem in here. So, the first step, a lot of times, what we need to do is just slow down. Because if we're going so fast, we just don't recognize the signals. We don't hear what's coming through, right? It may sound oversimplified, but a lot of spirituality really is about simplicity. This is something my husband says. The mind works on the level of complexity. The heart works on the level of simplicity. And so getting back in touch with yourself and your internal signals is really much simpler than you might think. It's not about adding anything. It's just about really tuning in and learning what to look for, what to listen for, so that we get the message when it's being sent. It really isn't a new language for us to learn. It's just quieting down enough to hear it. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine who is always trying new fitness things, and she loves exploring group classes. That's really her thing. I am very much a lone wolf when it comes to lots of things, really, and fitness is one of them. I like to do my own thing. I don't typically like to make plans with other people. A lot of that is just because I like to follow my body's intuition of whatever I'm wanting to do that day. And that doesn't mean that I never push myself out of my comfort zone. It just means that I have learned to tune into my body and listen to what it's calling for that day. And so I often don't like to plan things much in advance. I might have an idea of what I'm doing, but I'm always open and flexible to swinging that a little bit if I feel like my body is telling me to do something different. But this was a pretty last minute invitation. She reached out on a Wednesday night and said, do you want to do hot yoga with me tomorrow at 6 a.m.? And I said, you know what? I do. I've been wanting to try hot yoga. I've never done it. So without much time to really think about it, I thought, yeah, let's not overthink it. Let's go and try it. That's a good opportunity. I did the class. I hung in there for the most part during the 60-minute class, but I would say for about the last 20 minutes, it was just a total mind game, which I know I've heard hot yoga is. I'm really fine with slowing way down. I'm fine with deep stretching. I'm fine with holding poses for a long time. All of that kind of mindful stillness is great with me. But the extreme heat was something that I hadn't encountered before. It's very high level of, profuse sweating, which I'm not really used to doing. And I thought, in theory, this is probably good for me because I'm not a heavy sweater. And so I thought this is probably going to be supportive for my lymphatic system, be really good to do that much sweating. Yeah, let's say I sweat more than I ever have before, sweat coming from my eyeballs. Like that was nuts. But what happened next was I had a lingering, ongoing, fairly intense headache for 4 days after the yoga. Now, I'm experienced enough to know that as soon as I came home, I drank 2 full glasses of water with electrolytes. I knew that that's what my body needed. I immediately replenished my body with protein. I hydrated all throughout the day. Now, had I known more than like 8 hours ahead of time that I was going to this, I might have spent the few days before doing hot yoga really giving myself extra hydration, extra electrolytes. But I hadn't done that. So all I could do was try to play catch up on the back end. And whatever I did, I just could not seem to get myself rehydrated at the cellular level. I had depleted myself to a not good degree. I also had a show that Saturday night. This would have been 2 days later. I still felt completely dried out. Like there was nothing I could do to drink enough water. My voice just wasn't in its peak condition. And through all of this, it was like, okay, I guess I shouldn't have done that hot yoga. So it's not that there's anything wrong with hot yoga, but the message that my body keeps repeatedly giving me over the past few months is you are in a chapter of nourishment, replenishment, and gentle practices. I really am a more finely tuned machine than I used to be. There was a time in my life when more drastic detox practices served me well, would have served me well. This is not that chapter. In this chapter, I run a pretty finely tuned machine. I maintain a high energetic frequency most of the time. And I put good fuel in. That's not to say I don't give myself treats. I definitely do. But I know how to put the most important building blocks in first. My body also serves me in the way that because it's more finely tuned now, when I do something for my body that is depleting or stripping away, it lets me know in a strong way right away, this is not a supportive practice for you. This is not something we need right now. You are not in a chapter of depletion. You are in a chapter of nourishment, of giving your body what it needs to thrive. And I talk on here a lot about as far as stripping identity, stripping labels, these things we want to shed away. But when it comes to my physical vessel, I'm all about giving it the nourishment it needs. It's about pleasure, it's about enjoyment, joy. We want to come from a full place in order to be able to give, in order to be a highly tuned vessel where I am at a higher frequency to allow in higher intuition, higher knowledge. I need to keep my vessel in optimum condition. When I don't, it lets me know right away. And so I'm not cursing my body for what happened after the hot yoga. Instead, I said, thank you so much for letting me know that was not a supportive practice for me right now. And it actually showed me, sometimes we get these beautiful glimpses of, okay, what do I need? So that showed me, yoga is such a beautiful practice and it's so varied. Like our Western idea of what yoga is so limited. There are so many different forms of yoga. And so the next one I actually want to explore is yin yoga, but that is the season that I am in. I need deep stillness, lots of rest, um, nourishment. These are the kinds of practices that are going to serve me in this current chapter. So, as you start moving through your soul shift, you may try on different practices that may have worked well for you in the past. And you're asking yourself, why is this not working now? There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're just in a different season. So, we can shift our practices to match what season we're in. That's completely normal. Just like nature, we have cycles that we go through. As a woman, of course, we're cycling all the time. But men as well, just like nature, you have times when it's time to go and work, and then there is a time to rest. There is a time to be fruitful and a time to let things replenish unseen under the surface. Okay? This is very normal, natural. If you're ever in doubt, look to nature because everything in this universe is fractal in nature. And you can look at the microcosm all the way to the macrocosm, but it follows the same guidelines. It follows the same building blocks. So just know that if something is no longer serving you, that's okay. Take notice of it and shift yourself accordingly until you find the thing that is working well for you right now. And I'll have to give you an update on how yin yoga goes for me when I find a good class nearby. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep expanding your edges, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning into Star Potential with Julie Jo Hughes. If this episode resonates with you, I invite you to take 2 seconds, scroll down, and click 5 stars on the rating. It's a fast and easy way to help the show gain exposure and momentum. If you're loving the show, I invite you to leave a quick review about what you love. Reviews are like gold to podcasters, and to show my gratitude, you'll be entered to win my monthly giveaway when you send me a screenshot of your review. I also made you a gift. It's a 9-minute, simple gratitude meditation with singing to help you practice mindfulness. Just visit me on Instagram at @TheJulieJo or find the link in the show notes. Thank you for your love and support. Until next time, keep shining your light. And that's a wrap.